Is this thing on? Testing. One, two, three. Is this thing on? No, I'm kidding. I'm here. It's been a long time. It's been over a month. Welcome to the Shape of Horror podcast. I'm Bud. Man, crazy summer I've had. I went on vacation, Jamaica, as you guys all know. Hold on, I can hear myself. I need to remedy that. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me? Let's see some people in the chat. New iPad. Things all fucked up. Yeah, I went on vacation to Jamaica. What was it, June 18th? And then I come back and I find out that I have to work night shift, 12-hour shifts, man. So that's where I've been the last month. I've been working night shift and making a shit ton of money. But now I'm back on days and I can do this stuff again. And I thank everybody for tuning in. So tonight I'm going to do, Scream 6 came out in March. A little bit of time has been able to set in. Been able to watch it a few times on streaming. I watched it over the weekend when I was, before I went to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning, which sucked. But I watched Scream 6 on 4K Blu-ray, and it just occurred to me that my thoughts on this movie from when I initially saw it are not the same as now. Let's go to the chat. Let's see who's in here. Hola, Nick Push, good friend. Allie Girl, happy Thursday. Yeah, it's been a long time. Really miss doing this stuff. I know there's kind of a void because we really don't have anything to look forward to because of the writer's strike. The actors are striking. Fucking crazy times. Scream 7's probably delayed. Joseph the Horror Guy, welcome to the chat. How you doing? And yeah, let's see here. Love my Halloween 4 stream. Yeah, I think the last live stream I did solo was Halloween 6, but yeah, that Halloween 4 stream did some big numbers for me. I'm going to be getting back to the Halloween franchise here in the coming weeks, so look for that. I'm going to do Halloween H2O. Joseph the Horror Guy also enjoys the Scream TV series. I remember watching the first season. I don't really couldn't really get into it. Wasn't my kind of thing, but yeah, so tonight, like I told you, I was watching Scream 6, and I think I have a new ranking list. It's changed. So what I'm going to do it different. I'm going to start from the best and go down to the worst because in my opinion, the top 3 can never change. Imagine it could be the same for a lot of people. The top 3 never going to change unless they do Scream 7 and it's just, mind blowing. But I just have a hard time believing that any sequel can measure up. Let's just get it on here. Number 1, Scream 1, obviously. Not a lot to say here. Paved the way for this entire thing. It changed the horror genre as we know it in the 90s. It was dead, changed the game. A lot of stuff. But always Scream will be number 1 in my book. So, and then Scream 2, very closely behind Scream 1. Top 2 unquestionable. After this, for a lot of people it might get a little bit questionable, but for me, my number 3 is always going to be Scream 3. Wes Craven did his original trilogy. Kevin Williamson, I don't think he was much involved in Scream 3, but it was a nice change of pace. One killer, very fun movie. Probably the most fun Scream movie. Look at all these moderators. Oh, wait a minute. Ronnie, you have to have you guys don't have moderators, but sometimes it does pay to have them. Have a lot of creeps that pop in here. But yeah, Scream 3, the top 3 here, uh, pretty much the same. This where we're gonna get into the good stuff is here from here on out. So, here, before yeah, Nick Push, the moderator power is going to his head. He never does anything. I don't think he ever catches anything. It just goes right over his head. Uh, I'll get to your question, Joseph, here in a little bit. Adam Howard, welcome to the chat. He appreciates Scream 3 more than 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, agreed. So let's get to number 4. Believe it or not, it's Scream 5. I just, a lot to enjoy about the movie. It's been 11 years since we saw Scream 4. And so, yeah, they ushered in a new young cast and peppered them in with our favorite legacy characters. But what I liked about this is the killers. Richie, Amber, amazing killers. They had a pretty fun motive. You know, you would have never thought that the killers would have a motive that they were so pissed off about. The Stab movies, which were based on the events of Woodsboro. When they went to Windsor College, all of that stuff. But they were a little bit pissed about how bad the movies had gotten, and they decided to take things into their own hands. I thought it was a very creative motive. This movie had a lot of like plot holes and bullshit, which is becoming pretty much a common theme with this new trilogy of Scream movies that they're making. Hopefully, we get Scream 7. But yeah, I really did enjoy Scream 5. I enjoyed it better than the other two. So right here, when I go to number 5 here, it's gonna show where this is all leading. What has happened? Let me get that off of there. Let's see here. Joseph, what's your favorite Scream movies? Well, I'm counting down. I'm here to number 4 here. So Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 5. That's where we are for the top 5 there. That's a good point. Scream 5 was like The Force Awakens, safe, but it did its job. Yeah, it didn't take a lot of risks. That's why that motive is pretty clean. But, you know, we'll get into it. Allie, Scream, Scream 6, Scream 4, Scream 5, Scream 2, Scream 3. It's a pretty good list. A lot different than mine. I don't know why you would have Scream 2 solo. I just don't understand that. Let's go to number 5 on my list. Scream 4. In my opinion, this was Wes Craven's weakest entry. It was not Scream 3 like a lot of people say. Not for me. I like that they left Woodsboro, you know, went to Los Angeles, and that's gonna kind of dovetail. No, they did that in Scream 3. Yeah, they went to Los Angeles, went to Hollywood around the Stab production, but Scream 4 goes back to Woodsboro. Sydney's, writing her book. They had a new young cast of victims, really, and the Jill Roberts thing, Sydney's niece. It was okay. I mean, what's her name that played her? You guys help me out. Emma Roberts. She did a good job, I thought, as a deranged killer. Really liked her motive. You know, it's not about friends; it's about fans. I really like the motive, but the look of it, it just didn't really go with the other three Screams 1 through 3. It looked different. It just felt different, right? So you guys know where I'm going here, and that Scream 6 for me is the worst entry in the franchise, and I'll tell you why I think that. And me and Nick, we talked a little bit about it. We, thinking our initial thoughts, we were pretty much positive come going out of it. It was good to see Scream. Yeah, Nick Push, good point. Yeah, the cinematography in Scream 4 was not good. Yeah, it was like washed out, kind of just plastic. I don't know. It just looked weird. Go back and watch it. I wonder if 4K transfer they redo that, it might make it look a little bit better. I don't know, but it just looked weird. But Scream 6, to me, the biggest problem with this movie, yeah, Gale's bangs in Scream 3. Did you say something about Scream 3? Scream 3 had too much Maureen Prescott BS for me. Yeah, I mean, but they had to tie it back, with Randy's Rules, the trilogy, where it always goes back to the beginning, where something you thought was true wasn't true. You had to incorporate Maureen Prescott's BS. So I don't really mind that. Emma Roberts did good, of course. And Scream 6 would be amazing in 3D. I saw Scream 6 in 3D in the theater, and believe it or not, wasn't really made for 3D. They just tried to squeeze a little more cash out of it. But Scream 6, sorry man, I haven't talked this much in a month, so forgive me here. So they build the movie, we're leaving Woodsboro. They left Woodsboro and Scream 2 for the most part in Scream 3. Did they have anything in Woodsboro? It was all in LA. Scream 3, but they obviously followed a very consistent pattern. So they Scream 1 in Woodsboro, Scream 2, Windsor College, Scream 5, Woodsboro, Scream 6 to whatever, Blackmore College, whatever it's called. But one of the selling points is it was going to be in New York City for the first time. And we got, some establishing shots. We got to look at the Hudson River, the Brooklyn Bridge, a little bit Times Square, I guess, the city. And then that was it. Like they couldn't even go a little bit further and just have Allie, you say you love the New York vibe, but they fucking swung and missed on the New York vibe. They had some establishing shots and a subway scene. That was really it. So they didn't even have New Yorkers. You think of the strong, tough New York accent. Yet when Samantha and little short round there run into the bodega, and then Ghostface comes in, the guy kind of steps up to confront Ghostface and say, "Hey, buddy, hey, buddy." The line starts here. He's a fucking Canadian. He's not a New Yorker. And that's what stood out to me when I was watching it over the weekend, that they totally shit the bed on the New York part of this. Look. And then on top of that, we had bad killers. 3 killers this time. I didn't like any of them. Just thinking about it. Like the motive, okay, yeah, they're getting revenge for Richie. Very similar to Scream 2, Mrs. Loomis getting revenge for Billy. But what set it above is the performance of Mrs. Loomis, Debbie Salt, by Laurie Metcalf. Fucking nailed it. And then you have three killers in this, and their performances are pretty terrible. You killed our brother, you motherfucker. And then Ethan, just nothing there, nothing there at all. And then let's get into the plot problems. Like they're numerous. They they did a fake out death, cheated us. They had 3 killers. It shouldn't have been too hard to hide some of this stuff. And then they fucked up. Instead of they fake killed what's her name, the girl. Remind me what her name is. Uh, the detective's daughter, Richie's sister. God, I'm so mad right now. I can't even remember names. But yeah, they decided to fake kill her. They should have done it the other way. They should have fake killed Ethan. That way, later on, when Gail is attacked, being chased by obviously a dude, it would have been at least somewhat believable. But you had a throwaway victim and Samantha's, you know, her therapist. Like Like, they couldn't have kept him around to keep him as a red herring. The ladder scene, okay, I see some people popping in. Dermot Mulroney was awful. He was. All 3 of the killers were awful. I think their performances were awful. Just watching it back, man, like, usually when you watch a Scream movie, you're like, "Man, I can't wait for the final act to get on there," but on this one, it's just not a really good final act, and then bad killers, and then you had the patsy killers at the beginning. Like, I know at the beginning, we love that they changed up the opening where we get to see the killer's face for the first time, and yeah, and then I'm watching it. Really, the only scene that was stands out and it was great was when Gail spoke to Ghostface for the first time. Believe it or not, it was the first time, but yeah, that scene was pretty effective. If you can suspend disbelief and, you know, I don't know, hear the guy grunting, running after her, and then later on we find out it's what's her face. Come on, these guys are not. They're not. They're phoning it in. I think. I know they say they love Scream, but they're phoning it in. I worry for Scream 7 now. What the fuck are they gonna come up with? Joseph the horror guy with another good point. Why Scream 6 is, in my opinion now, I know my opinion's changed. Scream 6 is the first bad Scream movie. And one of the reasons it didn't have Sydney. Don't buy it. The ladder scene, it was okay. Like, I I looked at that ladder, like, who the fuck keeps that kind of ladder in an apartment in New York City? It's just a fucking strange ladder to have unless he's using it to sneak across. I don't know. Quinn, yeah, Quinn's terrible. The actress that played her, she's beautiful, obviously. Didn't give her a lot to work with, but yeah, just her as a killer, didn't buy it. Like, then Nick Push, it's like Halloween Kills. The ghost face and costume was badass, but the plot, etc., was unfortunately weak as hell. And you know what? Roger L. Jackson's performance as Ghostface lacking. Definitely the worst. Uh, did you hear Jenna Ortega, who plays terribly in Beetlejuice 2? Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, Beetlejuice 2 halted production. Well, writer strike, actor strike, whatever. Adam, Scream 6 was kind of ridiculous. The main characters were like Freddy and Jason at the end of Freddy versus Jason. That's, yeah, a little bit. Didn't really like, didn't really like much of the new cast. I like Samantha. I like Tara. I like Chad. I like Mindy. Very happy with them as the core fucking four. But, and I don't like the fake out deaths and all that. I don't like that stuff. You know, Chad should have died in this movie. But again, it's just thanks. I'm sorry. Thanks, Joseph. Sorry if I turned you off because I know you love Scream 6 so much, but thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. But yeah, that's where we are with Scream. Just not a big fan of it now. Now that time is kind of set in, and how long have I been on? It hasn't even been that long. I've already raced through this thing, but I have some other things to talk about. But yeah, Scream 6, terrible on New York. Canadians, bad killers, plot problems, just pretty weak movie. At least it looked good, I guess, I'll give them that. It looked better than Scream 4 in terms of how the production looked. So let's move on to some news. Talk about some other things. So Jason Blumhouse, whatever you call him, released the first look in this poster here that I put on here. The new Exorcist, directed by one of our favorites, David Gordon Green. He's gonna resurrect the Exorcist franchise like he did the Halloween franchise. Again, so here I don't know why they put this sideways. It's kind of dumb to look at, but I guess I should have turned it the right way so we could see. But it looks like they're kind of really play up the first Exorcist. The look of the demon child here. This whoever these kids, it looks like more than one this time. So I guess Josh the horror guy. I'm back. Good to see you, man. I was doing my Scream 6 rankings. You missed it. Scream 6 is the worst. It's the first bad Scream movie. I can say it now with full confidence. But yeah, The Exorcist looks like it's going to be similar to the original. I know Exorcist 2 wasn't even in the realm. It was something else, and it's Exorcist 3 tried to be a little bit more like the original, but it turned out to be, in my opinion, better than the original. So I guess Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn, they're definitely going to be back this time around. I guess with their experience or whatever, be a new group of kids or something that being infected. So yeah, this is your first look at The Exorcist. This comes out in October. Probably be straight to Peacock. I don't know. I imagine there'll be a trailer here shortly as well. Nick Push, how can they make The Exorcist stand out from all the other exorcism? That's a fucking great point. I guess um, more kids are infected, I guess, or whatever. We're going to call it being taken over by the devil. More kids need to be exorcised. So maybe it's just a bigger coming back with a vengeance. Nick loves The Exorcist 3. Yeah, it's just really good. Really good. So the next bit, Saw 10. I don't know how many of you guys are Saw fans. Um, they're mostly bad, but I would say the first three pretty decent. So they're coming back with Saw 10. They were gonna release it at the end of October, but now they're so confident. I guess it's tested well. People are loving it. They've decided to move it up into September, which I think is pretty smart move. Um, it was Exorcist, Five Guys at Freddy's, and I don't know, whatever the Thanksgiving movies they've kind of pushed up a little bit earlier. Um, so it's probably a good idea to move up at the end of September and pad your box office take because you know in the box office environment right now, a lot of movies have been bombing. The Flash, they spent $300 million on The Flash. It's a loss. Indiana Jones 5, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. Uh, it's going to be a loss at the box office. They're not going to make their money back for their budget or the money they spent to promote it. They're not going to make it. They're not going to be. It's not going to be profitable. But if you look at horror movies, they make them cheap, low budgets. They're making money. Insidious, they had a new release come out a couple weeks ago, and it knocked Indiana Jones from the top spot. Indiana Jones was only 1 week at the top of the box office, which I think is a crime. Because I was able to see Indiana Jones 5 earlier this week. I had a couple days off on Monday and Tuesday, and I went and saw Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, and I saw the new Mission Impossible on those days off, and they were both fantastic movies. Mission Impossible is probably also, it might just barely get over due to the international, but here it's been out a week and it's already been pushed out. We got Barbie. You have Oppenheimer coming out this weekend, which I'm gonna go see both. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Barbie on Sunday because my wife told me. My wife never likes to go to the movies, and she wants to see fucking Barbie. So I'm gonna go see Barbie on Sunday, but Oppenheimer, I'm gonna be seeing Saturday. So These 2 movies right here, it's gonna be a big weekend for Hollywood. They're gonna have one of those weekends that are more on par from what we remember, before COVID. You got 2 movies that are just gonna go fucking clean up this weekend. Um, so, yeah. So I saw Indy 5, The Dial of Destiny on Monday. You know, I kinda bought into the bad reviews, and I was wrong. It's a fantastic movie. Doesn't have any woke bullshit in it. It is a fun it's my s look, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, uh, god damn it, I hate remembering shit. Oh, the 3rd one and then the 4th one, that's how it was for me. Now it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, then the Dial of Destiny. So much fun. It felt like Man, it felt like kinda like, the Temple of Doom a little bit, had a little bit of Raiders of the Lost Ark, had a little bit of The Last Crusade. Thankfully, it had none of the 4th one. The 4th one was really not that good, but Indiana Jones 5 was really fucking good. I'm really glad. It was a good way for Indiana Jones to go out. They kinda it was it wasn't remaking the wheel. Just a lot of fun. The Dial of Destiny was a fun movie. Mission Impossible, with Dead Reckoning Part 1. Man, Tom Cruise, man, that guy turns out fucking edge of your seat. Just I don't know how this is the 7th Mission Impossible. Now you would have thought after the second one was pretty bad. You would have thought, "Oh shit, this franchise is toast," but just from the 3rd one to where we are now, just each movie gets progressively better and better and better, and a lot of fun. Sadly, Mission Impossible, it's probably gonna be tough to see now with Barbie and Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, they're taking all the premium screens. They're doing IMAX, was shot in IMAX, all the premium stuff. We'll have Oppenheimer, and then you'll have Barbie on a lot of screens, and I imagine Barbie might win this thing by a hair. But it's gonna be a big weekend. Probably a good weekend to go to the movies. 2 wholly different movies, but maybe a double feature like Bud's gonna do Saturday and Sunday. So let's see here. Josh the horror guy enjoyed first 2 Saw movies. Yeah, did I just totally forget what I was saying about the Saw movies? So yeah, Saw movies moving up. It's set between the first and second movie. They're very confident about it and tested well, and I don't know, might be worth checking out. Scott loved the Mission Impossible. Man, it was a lot. It was like edge of your fucking seat. So much shit going on there. It was really good from the beginning to end. Even though it was like almost 3 hours long, but it went by at a fast pace. Good stuff, and you know, not too many spoilers here, but if you pay attention, the AI is kind of the thing now, and of course, Mission Impossible is on it. Artificial intelligence. Scott, you're going to see Barbie? Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. I mean, I hope it is as fun as the Super Mario Brothers movie was. Oppenheimer should be huge. Yeah, Christopher Nolan, he's one of the great directors of our generation for sure, man. Every movie this guy puts out, masterpiece. Alley Girl, I do not know why they made a Barbie movie. It's because Mattel wants to sell Barbies. That's why they made it. And maybe Barbie is the anti-hero. Yeah, there, Scott. 2 hours, 40 minutes went by fast. Oppenheimer is 3 hours exactly long. So if you're going to go see that, buckle in because it's going to be long. But apparently, this could be your front runner. Oppenheimer could be your front runner for the Oscar in March. So yeah, apparently has a lot of nudity as well, like full frontal male nudity, female, all of it. So, yeah. So that's where we are with the news. Anybody want to ask me anything? I'm not going to go very long, but yeah, Nick pushed the good point there. Can we please go back to 90-minute movies? The- Mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, Scream 6 was like over 2 hours long. I don't think they took any Halloween movie over an hour, 40 minutes. How about let's split hairs and say an hour and 45 minutes for every movie? What would you think about that? I saw a trailer for a movie. It's the next Martin Scorsese movie called Killers of the Flower Moon, I think. Leonardo DiCaprio. It's based on a true story. Um, I've read that this movie might be 3 hours and 40 minutes long, if you can believe it. I was reading about it. Could be the longest movie ever. So anyway, well, let's see here. I guess Nick's punching out on me. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for joining. Or have intermissions, Allie. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have an intermission. Like do like a 4 hour movie, but then just have like a 20-minute intermission, maybe. All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I just wanted to kind of get back, get something on the channel. It's been a long time since I've put any content. I think my watch hours were very paltry the last I looked. Let's get into some announcements before I punch out. So I don't know if you guys know, but Jake Blaster has looks like he's deactivated his channel. He's too busy. You know, works 2 jobs, I think, works a lot of hours, and he says that he can't devote, any time right now to YouTube, at least not through the rest of the year. I don't know if he'll be back or not. Rewind trivia, that's, gonna end, I'm sad to say. We won't be able to do any rewind trivias, here going forward for now. Um, and obviously things could change, but I know a lot of people had a lot of fun with that, and I certainly had a lot of fun, watching the movies, coming up with the questions. I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to do the Halloween final exam maybe in October. That might be something I could do solo, maybe have a few guests on, but it's definitely something I want to do is have like a 50 question Halloween, the entire franchise, just a 50, just to find out who knows their Halloween shit better than anybody. I'm gonna plan on doing that somehow. So, but as terms of rewind trivia, uh, we're not gonna be able to continue that for right now. Now, take it to the grave with Nick Push. That is still a go. We're gonna be coming back with that. I don't know, maybe next week. I have to get with Nick on that, but w- we're gonna continue to do that every 2 weeks. Work permitting. Work's pretty tough for me right now because I'm busy as well. But thankfully, no night shifts anymore. So hopefully next week, Nick Push says that we will be back with "Take It to the Grave." I can't remember what top 10 list we talked about doing next, but we'll do something fun. Everybody can do a top 10 list. We'll get that out as soon as we decide it. We may decide that here after we're done. After I go off the air here, and then I'll get it out to you. But uh, I'm gonna start up the Halloween retrospectives again. I'm gonna do H2O. I may try to do one next week, but definitely within the next few weeks, I'll start those back up. H2O. I still have Resurrection, the Rob Zombies, and I'll probably go ahead and go through all of them. Go talk about Halloween ends again. But yeah, top 10 loyal viewers. I like that, Nick. That's something we can do. But, you know, I'm not going away. I'm not, I enjoy doing this. It's a good way to hang out with people and just talk about the movies we love. So I'm not going to go anywhere, and I'll try to pop in a trivia here and there when I can. It's tough to do solo, but I will do it somehow. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the channel. This weekend, I'm going to be taping something. Me and Nick, we're going to be filming some taping. How did I just date myself by saying taping? We're going to record a video that's going to air, I believe, in October with all the good names are taken. And I won't tell you what we're going to do, but we're going to get something on video. What's with my right shoulder below the 78 poster? What is it? What is it? The Myers mask? Oh, this. This is a hand carved thing I got from Jamaica. I put it on the wall. I have a couple. I went to Mexico last year. I have a little lizard up there, but I've been trying to get something to put on the wall back here whenever I go visit somewhere. And yeah, fuck that. Put that up later. But yeah, it's just a Jamaica thing. Thanks for asking. Did I date myself by saying taped? Yeah, I think I did. We don't tape things anymore. I guess, just record them. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to call it a night. We're here at about, what, 40 minutes into this? 36 minutes. That's a pretty good length. But it was fun. It's good to be back in the saddle to kick the rust off. But I'll let you guys know when we're doing Take It to the Grave. Hopefully next week, I'll let you know so you can get your list ready. So everybody have a good night. Bud out.